and happy hump day. I'm Allison and this is my gorgeous mommy Cindy. We are fabulous alone, but we are fierce as a duo. You know, Valentine's Day is behind us, but Black History Month is actually still in full swing. You know, we talk a lot about the magnificent men who have done so much for Black history and done so much for civil rights, and I think that that's fabulous, but at the same time, we often overlook the women of the movement who have done quite a bit as well. So, you know, today to start out, we're going to talk a little bit about the prominent women in Black history. And then, you know, there's another Black woman who's often kind of forgotten and overlooked. Her name was Myrlie Evers Williams, and she was the wife, or is the wife of Medgar Evers. And Medgar Evers, sorry, my tongue's getting a little tied. But, you know, she worked diligently alongside her husband to desegregate schools and, you know, other public facilities, and also to organize voter registration drives. And after her husband was unfortunately assassinated, she worked for 30 years alongside other civil rights leaders to kind of seek justice for his murder. And then, you know, after that kind of wrapped up, you know, she wrote a book that chronicled his life. And most recently, I don't know if you guys remembered, but she actually delivered the speech at Barack Obama's second inauguration.
Right. That was amazing, too. I mean, Betty Shabazz, she was Malcolm X's wife, also known as Betty X. You know, she was actually pregnant with twins when Malcolm X was assassinated in 1965. So can you imagine not only the stigmatism of being married to Malcolm X, but now having to go through that, being pregnant with twins. And then after that, she ended up actually raising her 6 daughters all alone. You know, she completed her master's degree in education, got her PhD, and even after his death, you know, she went around the country giving lectures about, you know, civil rights and continued working for social injustice. Do you find that sometimes you have to somewhat take a back seat to his strengths and to let him shine, or be the man that he needs to be?
You know, like many of these women that we talked about, you know, I imagine that they kind of had to dim their lights to let their husbands shine because their husbands were so active. And that is something, not, you know, I'm not in the same situation, but like you said, like as a basketball wife, that's something that I have faced a lot. And it really just boils down to having to, you know, kind of let go of some of my career goals and dreams temporarily to support my husband's.
When I met your dad, he, excuse me again, he was already a well-established attorney. He was actually the first African-American to be the city attorney of our hometown, Milledgeville, Georgia, and then went on to be the first African-American to hold a leadership role in the Georgia Trial Lawyers Association. So I did have to somewhat take a back seat to him, but it was my choice. It was nothing that he asked me to do, but as his wife and his helpmate, I'm a little bit from the old school. And I believe that a woman's job, once she takes on a husband, is to stand behind that man and lift him up so that he can be all that he needs and wants to be for his family.
But, you know, in other situations, I do think that there is sometimes room for both people to have their careers and still, you know, take care of home. But, you know, his career and what he wants to do, it's kind of short-lived, and I have forever to do what I want to do. So I am willing to dim my light, you know, for lack of a better way to say it, now, and let him shine now, knowing that when he reaches a different point in his life, we'll kind of switch, and he'll give me the opportunity to you know, live the career of my dreams. And I think
it's all about, again, balance and knowing your man. You know what your man needs. If your man is in a high-powered job that's filled with stress and whatnot, when he comes home, the last thing he needs is a nagging wife. The last thing he needs is to hear about, you know, other stresses in the world. That should be his serene place. That should be his place where he can go and shut out all the issues and hardships and take on the world again. So
I agree, and I also think that another way that, you know, women can support their men is take on more of a we mentality. You know, one thing that a little, I guess you could call it a little poem that I learned is, you know, no more I, no more me, always us, always we. And I think that when you're married and someone is your partner, you have to change your mindset to that. And so you have to recognize that, you know, by your husband winning and by him being, you know, the man he is and doing great in his career, you're winning as well. Mm-hmm. So I think that, you know, how we can support these men is to be their sounding board and also to help them without wanting the credit. You know,